Hello everyone, welcome to this video. As many of you know, I am currently shooting videos for my upcoming book, a book about the 1940s, 50s Django vocabulary, which is great vocabulary. And I just released a preview of the book that you can download in my Discord. And it's a complete preview with videos, backing tracks, tab, everything downloadable, and you can get to work immediately if you want to. The problem though is that it's downloadable in my Discord, so you have to join my Discord. And a lot of people have done that, but I can see from the questions that some people experience some difficulties navigating my Discord, which I can imagine because it's a little bit of an overwhelming place. It started really small, but it exploded. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make this video and give you a guided tour, especially for the people that are already in my Discord, but I might also put it on YouTube so that people that are thinking about it can already check it out a little bit. So let me switch to my screen and let me show you what is going on. So when you land in my Discord, you will land here. And the way Discord works is that you have all the Discord servers that you could join. But if you're new to Discord, you will only see my server, which is this photo. And when you click on it, you will go to that server. But if I'm the only server, you will start here and you'll be in my rules channel. Here's the channel name and you'll be in this channel. There's nothing to do here. If you click here, you cannot type. You can just read the rules. That's it. Then on the left side here, you have all the channels. Here's the content of a channel. If you click on it, right, I could switch channel and then you'll be in that channel. And on the right side, you'll have a members list. Probably. If you're on desktop, you can click this icon to turn it off and on. If you're on the phone, it works a little bit differently, but you can figure it out. I'm just pretend now that you're on desktop. So you click here to go to a channel, and the channels are grouped by category. In the category, you can distinguish by the capital letters, and you can collapse the categories. So I could collapse them all, right? And then it might be a little bit more orderly, but this way you cannot do anything. So if you click on, for example, the chat, which is the main part you'll probably hang out, then you can click on the different channels to talk about the topics that the channels are named after. So for instance, if I click on general, which is the main channel, people are talking about jazz guitar in a general sense, or they could be talking about the way the Discord works. So if you have a question, you could ask there. If you want to talk about jazz chords, progressions, you can click here on the harmony channel. If you want to talk about technique, picking technique, rhythm technique, you can click there. Some people talk about the goals they have for the coming year. For instance, people talk about Guitar Pro 8 or finding gems or posting videos of themselves or posting videos that they found on YouTube. There is a channel where you can introduce yourself. There's lots of channels here, so just check it out. Just hang around, and if you want to type something, you can type it here. Above that is the housekeeping category, and this is the category where mainly I post messages to inform you about current events, either inside or outside the Discord. An example of that is, for instance, the announcements channel. Here I announce things about my new books, and this is also the place where I put my preview. So if you click here and you scroll down, then you'll see the preview of the book. You can download all the files here. You have access to the videos through links. There is, for instance, a channel where I post all my new videos. So you can watch the videos directly from the Discord. There's backing tracks. There's a members map, so you can see if there are people near you that are also in the Discord. Above that is leaderboards. And I think it's interesting to talk a little bit about this. So let me start here on the right side, the members list. So you can see there are members. These are just people that are in Discord with a yellow name. There's members here with a purple name. There's members with a green color and orange color, and there's even more colors, and that is tied to the level in the Discord, because the way my system works is if you buy a book of mine, you work on a chapter, and at the end of the chapter is a usually pretty difficult exercise, and once you complete an exercise, you send me a video, and if it's okay, I'll promote you in the Discord. You unlock new content, you get a different color name, and you get a title, and the titles are based on chess titles. So if I go to, for instance, this channel called Titled Members, you can see all the members that have received titles. Now, as you can see, there's not many members that actually have titles compared to the hundreds of people that bought a book of mine. And that is because it's pretty difficult to gain a title. You really have to work hard for that. It's worth it because you'll get better, but you'll also receive a reward in the sense of Discord promotion And it's very visible. So there's this list here, and you can see all the different titles that are available. They're based on chess titles. For instance, the lowest title you can get in chess is Master, the highest is Grandmaster. I have the same, Master, Candidate Master, International Master, but I put the word Jazz in front of it, or a J, abbreviated. So as you can see, there are 25 Jazz Super Grandmasters, JSGMs. They have finished a complete book, which is really an accomplishment. And 25 is actually already more than I thought would ever happen. Because it's such a lot of work to finish a book that I thought, how many people are going to do that? But never underestimate gamers. You say gamers? Yeah, that's because my methodology is gamified. So it's like you are playing a challenging game while leveling up your guitar playing. You have these shorter goals to attain instead of this grand goal of like, I have to be a good jazz guitar player, which of course in the end is the goal. But by having these gamified goals in between, it's a little bit more attainable, even though it's still a lot of work. And there are people that have gotten this highest level title, but are still doing exercises from other books, for example, because you can level in any book that you choose of mine. They're not progressive, but then you might buy another book because of another interesting topic, and you do the exercise in that book, but you cannot gain any more levels. Well, in that case, you can get points. So there's this VHS van-Hemert system books Leaderboard with points. And only Jazz Super Grandmasters can participate because you have to have finished the book and then you can get points. So for instance, here on number 1 spot, there's user Lebhak who has 3,100 points. That means he did 31 exercises perfectly, got 100 points per exercise, and per 500 points you get a star. So he's a 6-star JSGM. Doesn't mean anything to you right now, but if you own one of my books, you can imagine that this is really a big accomplishment. It's like finishing a Souls game, a Dark Souls game, on like normal level, but then you also finish it a couple of times on the highest difficulty level. Well, that is Lebhak here. Number 2 has 1,200 points, which is already a lot of points, but a long time off from the 3,100 points. Okay, so this is all the channels you have access to as a free member. There's even a channel there called ELO Challenges, with challenges you can do if you don't own a book, and you can get scored for that. Well, what happens if you own a book? So let's say I'm going to pretend you own book 4. So then the Discord would look like this. There's a whole new section here, a new category for book 4 owners, and they have their own channels, resources with all videos for my book, backing tracks, Guitar Pro 8 files. There is a discussion channel for the book. And now you also have access to this leveling game, of course. Let's say what happens when you own 2 books. Let's say you also own book 2. Well, then there's 2 categories. There's one for book 2 owners. There's one for book 4 owners. What happens if you own everything that I published? Well, then there's all these categories. And there's also even the mini courses, which have their own leaderboard, their own resources. So I can imagine that if you own a book or multiple books, it's even more overwhelming. But it's also a great place to hang out. It's my favorite place to hang out online. And I've heard this from many people. It's a great community. It's very motivating to be in that community, to work on yourself. And I didn't even talk about the private streams channel. So when you own a book, you get access to this channel called Private Streams. And this is a place in which I stream, usually multiple times a week, directly to Discord members, in which I answer their questions and which I show them how I practice improv. Because it starts with having a book of mine, but then you need extra strategies to practice tunes. I say I want to learn how to play on Argentine, or I want to learn how to play on minor string, right? Or After You've Gone. And I do streams where I show how I practice with the materials in my book. Just the real-time process is real-time, and people are in the chat, you can ask me questions. And the streams stay up, so even if you join now, there is literally dozens and dozens of streams. It's never ending. And there's multiple channels even for streams. There's this place where I stream specific strategies. Anyway, this is just to help you a little bit with exploring the Discord, and I can understand that you might have more questions. Don't hesitate to ask them in the general channel in the chat category. Just go here, chat category, and ask your questions in the general channel. And there will always be people that can answer the questions for you. And before you know it, you'll be a pro at Discord. Time for me to get back to the book. And hopefully I will see you soon right here in the Discord. Bye.